Testing, 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 but I think we're good. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Perfect. Make sure you guys join the Discord. Link is in the chat. Give me 1 second, guys, to post the link. Mm. One second, guys. Just making sure I post these links everywhere. And we're good. Posted it to Twitter. Let me close out of there. Posted it to Discord. Discord link is up. Um, what's good, Mohammed? Good morning, my brother. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. Man, upset about GJ, bruh. The ship moved an hour too early. An hour too early. But it's all good. Here's my analysis on this. So, would I have taken this trade? No. Right? And here's the reason why. So, yes, I was expecting. Let's take a step back, right? So, let's go over the higher time frame, right? Same way we did last night, right? We know we have a month of drop. We know we have this gap at the top. We know we're in peak high territory. So, ultimately, we want to see price go up. But we have 3 weeks of rise. This week I'm not expecting a rise. I'm expecting a no net. So pretty much exactly what price is doing now, just consolidating, right? Or I'm expecting price to go down. So would this trade for today, right? Would it have been a good trade just to catch a couple pips? Absolutely, right? But why wouldn't this trade have been good? There's two reasons, right? The number one reason, in the 4 hour time frame, there was a green engulfing candle, right? That's number one reason. The number two reason, right, is just looking at how price is reacting to the zone that we're trading in, right? So we know 100% that we're trading between this high and this low. Anytime price gets to the high, it rejects highs, goes to the lows. Every time it goes to the 30-minute low, it rejects the lows, goes to the high, right? Every time it reached this high, it rejected it and did what? Went right back to the low, right? Then now here is where price gave us this engulfing candle in the 30-minute time frame, right? Price consolidated, gave it the Asia session consolidation, and then did what? Break, retest, break to the low of the zone, right? And then gave us this engulfing green candle, right? So when we're looking at it in this point of view, yes, even though it gave us that engulf that that retest of the 30-minute engulfing candle, before it gave us this retest and it pushed down, it gave us a type 1 pattern in an uptrend, right? Consolidation, break to the lows. At the lows, we'll get a double bottom. Right here in the 30-minute, we could see that double bottom. If we go down to a lower time frame, I'm not gonna do well. We'll do it here so you guys aren't confused, right? Let me delete these stuffs here. Right? If we go down to a lower time frame, we see that double bottom a lot more clear. Right? And pushed and price to push up, right? Gave us a change of character, and we're looking for price to retest here. So would I have taken this trade? Maybe, but I know that my TP number 1 is here at 40 pips. So on a trade like GJ, to be honest, 40 pips is not bad at all, right? 40 pips is not bad at all. But it is not what I'm looking for, right? The third reason why I wouldn't trade this is just where we're at in the pattern. We're in the middle of the zone. I don't fuck with trading in the middle of the zone because this is where traders get trapped. Because this is where the market maker is gonna make you see everything, right? He's gonna give you the double tops. He's gonna give you the double bottoms, right? He's gonna give you the type 1, type 2, type 3 patterns. He's gonna give it to you. He's gonna give everyone everything what they want to see, right? But he's not gonna do the complete move. He'll start the move to the top, make you believe, the traders who don't know what a break of structure is, they think that just because the candle went above this zone, it's a break of structure, right? So if you're one of those traders, you got trapped out, price went reversed, right? And it did the exact same thing every single time it went to the bottom. Every time it went to the top, it does a fake break of structure to the lows, fake ones to the tops, right? So there's a whole bunch of things going on here that's just makes me not want to get into trades like these, right? Regardless, right? All the other pairs, right? As you can see from the 10 that we look at, I only have 6 on, right? GJ being one of them just because it was in our 30-minute zone, but we could also start looking at STP, right? 95 pips is STP. We already did 101. So GJ is already done for the day. Again, the fact that we're in a zone of consolidation, the fact that we're still in the middle of the zone, think about it. We already did STP. We're still in the middle of the zone. Where's price going to go? Right? It's literally just going to be faking traders out, making you believe that this is going to go, right? But realistically speaking, it'll probably just do the complete opposite, right? Instead of giving you higher high, higher low, higher high, it'll give you a higher high, right? And then do a little fake out where then price starts trailing down. Same shit it did here, right? Or vice versa. If it goes right back to the low, we still know that we're trading between our 30-minute low and our 30-minute high. Until we don't break above our 30-minute highs or 30-minute lows, the only valid place to take trades is going to be at the low of the zone or at the high of the zone. All the other trades in between is not valid. So GJ, I'm turning it off. CHFJPY, let me recalculate STP for this one. $82 pips. Did we do 82 pips already for the day? We did 77. Okay, so we're not bad with this one still. So this one is in the same situation though. Right, if you notice it, we have our 30-minute high or 30-minute low, right? We had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high to where we're at now, higher low, higher high. But is this a change of character? No, this is internal change of character, but that's not what I'm interested in, right? I want to see price give me that external, right, change of character to the top side to start breaking above. Until then, I see that we have a 30-minute low that hasn't been tapped into yet. I see that we have the 800 EMA, right? At this point, I see that on the left side of the chart, we have clear, clean traffic, right? That price could still play into. And as you can see, that's exactly where we're at, right? So we have the high of the day, right? Which we could see that price. Let's put a real line so we don't get confused here. So we're looking for price to break here. Right? I'm not going to put it at the wick. I'm going to put it at the body of the candle. When I'm looking at break of structures, I want to see a clean break of the body. Right? So at this point, this green candle, this green candle, this green candle. Let's zoom in. right? Test, test, test. Why are these testing candles? None of these are clean break of structures yet because they're still touching the line, right? They're still touching the BOS, right? So this is a testing candle, this is a testing candle, this is a testing candle, this green candle, right? What I'm looking at now, you have 19 minutes and a 30-minute time frame chart, right? What I'm looking for is for this green candle to close above. If this green candle could get a candle closure above, you see how right now it's just the wick at the top and the body of the candle is just below. This body, the body of the candle has to close above for it to be considered a break of structure. If this candle turns into a red candle and closes below, the next candle still has to be a candle that closes above the green line without touching the BOS. If this red candle goes back down and touches the BOS line, this is also a testing candle and we're not ready to go up, right? And in this case, this is where we'll start looking for what? We'll start looking for a green, green, red engulfing, right? For this red candle to close below here. Next candle will give us the retest. This is where we enter for price to go down, right? And then TP1 will be at the low of the daily candle. So that's the move that we're looking for. Now, do I think that's what's gonna happen? We're still lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, high, lower low, lower high. It really depends what price wants to do, right? Even if we look at our 4-hour zone, we know that we're in the middle, in between our 4-hour high and low, which is the blue zones, right? So again, CHF JPY is just, it looks similar to GJ, right? We're in the middle of the zones right now. The market is giving us everything that we want to see. I didn't even notice this here, but this right here, green, green, red, this red engulfing is a real engulfing candle. Only thing is, we understand that these candles that are this big, right? We consider them an imbalanced candle or a gap in the market. So I wouldn't consider this a real engulfing candle, but it could be a good indication as to where price wants to go before going down, right? And this is about that same zone, right? So a few pips off, but you can see where it's at. So yeah, I'm not looking to trade CHF JPY, but I'm gonna keep the drawings here like we do. And then we'll come back to this later tonight when we look at the when we do our market breakdown tonight. Right, so then that leaves us with US 30, USD CAD, gold, and Bitcoin, right? Which are for the most part NYC session trades. So let's look at what US 30 is doing, right? So yesterday, after 3 days of rise, market must chop or drop, right? And it gave us a type 3 pattern, consolidation, break, came up to 50% to go down, right? Gave us an engulfing candle for a entry at the top, gave us an engulfing 15-minute candle to give us the entry for that type 3 pattern, which was beautiful, right? As we could see, that engulfing candle was literally right on the 50-50 trade, right? Boom, boom, went on the 50-50, gave us the engulfing candle, waited for this red candle, which was 9:30, to come up into the zone. Entry was down here to go down, right? So there was two beautiful fucking entries on US 30, and STP 1 through 4 were hit, right? TP 1 was down here, TP 2 was down here, TP 3 was here, and then TP 4 was STP, which was 219 pips from the high of the day, right? 219 pips were hit over here, 219, right? My TP was just at the top of the 4-hour zone, which is the blue box. So once we tapped into the 4-hour zone, right, price rejected and started pushing up. So now is where we're at. So price did give us a change of character. Did it give us a BOS? No. This is why price is not continuing the downtrend push. So now we can see price went up, gave us a pullback, consolidated, broke out of the consolidation, right, retested, and then started to push up. At this point, 219 STP, we already did 100, but I have to recalculate this, I think. These numbers don't seem right. 223. So I have 120 pips to play with, right, on US 30. So what are we looking at now? So we saw once we were at the bottom, we have clean traffic to the top side until we reach, right, our top of the zone. Right, at this point, the high that I'm looking at, that I'm interested in, is going to be this high. Right, if price could break above this high, then we know price is just going to continue to go up. Right, but at this point, what's another thing that I could be seeing? Okay, if we go down to the 15-minute time frame, right, we have I wanted to see if we had an engulfing candle somewhere. Give me 2 seconds to take a look. Right, I can't say this is an engulfing candle because it was already used. Right, so nothing in the 4 hour. In the 1 hour, I'm looking for red, red, green, or green, green, red that we haven't used yet. Right, we can see this one was used already. 30-minute time frame, looking for a red, red, green. Right, that has to be in the zone. But we have none. We have one here, red, red, green, but it's at the top of the zone, so it's not valid. 15-minute time frame, same thing, red, red, green, no top of wick. Red, red, green, perfect, down here. Right, we have red, red, green candle. 15-minute time frame at the low of the zone. Why do I like this being here? Because today, right, let's put a mark on this here. This gives us an idea on how price is gonna move, right? What could we see today, right? What is price doing right now, right? It gave us, it looks like it gave us a type 2 pattern, right, in an uptrend, which is just break, retest of the high to continue to push to the top, right? But a type 2 pattern could turn into a type 1 pattern, right? Because we have consolidation, breakout, right? This could give us this double top, which turns into a type 1 pattern, right? And then here is again where price is going to reject these lows to continue the uptrend push, right? And why do I think that's what's going to happen? Is just look at where we're at, right? We were at the lows. Let's put a line at these lows here. At one point, we know that this is the low of the zone. Change this to red. So did price break below the low? Yes. Did the zone make a new low? Yes. But did it break below the zone? No. This red candle closed below, but it's still on the line. It's testing. The green candle was below at one point and went right back up and went right on the line. Testing candle. It never broke below the candles, right? And then all the other ones you can see is the same thing. Testing, 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 testing. And then it went up. So the fact that I could see that, okay, maybe price just wants to consolidate up here, it would just make sense, right? We're at the highest we've ever been on US 30. Number one. Number two, we have 2 weeks of rise. This week being the third week, we already made a new high. As soon as we made that new high, price started pushing back down, made that new low, and then started pushing right back up, right? Whenever you see price not making up its mind whether it wants to do higher highs, higher highs, or lower lows, lower highs, where you see it making higher highs, higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, higher highs, it's just going crazy. That's how you know you're entering a zone of consolidation, right? In the daily time frame, we have 2 months of rise. This month being the third month. So we have 2 months of rise, this month being the third month. We already made a new high. We have 2 weeks of rise, or yeah, 2 weeks of rise. This week being the third week, we already made a new high. Right? I'm not expecting price to really continue to push all the way up the way it's been for the last 2 weeks. Right? But what I am expecting is for price to start consolidating. Whenever we're at the highs, we push down to the lows. And whenever we're at the lows, we start pushing up to the highs. And as you can see, again, we are trading between this 30-minute high, right, and this 30-minute low. So this is what just makes sense based on the zones that we're trading in, right? And I hope that makes sense. So with that being said, let me so now what I'm looking for up here is going to be an engulfing green, green, red. right? Or gonna see a change of character, break of structure in the internal structure, in the lower time frames. So green, green, red. Do we have anything in the 5, 15, or 30? Right, nothing. We had a green, green, red here, but this green doesn't have a bottom wick, so it's not valid. A 1 minute is way too fast of a time frame to be looking at. It's too early for that too. We should be looking at the after 9:30. We have a 5 minute engulfing candle here too. What I don't like about this engulfing is that the red candle didn't close below the wick. Right, so again, technically speaking, this is not a valid engulfing candle. So we just gotta be patient with this one, really. Okay. So that's US 30, USD CAD. Let's start seeing. So last night during the Asia session, right, we started seeing price swept the low, started pushing above, gave us a change of character, BOS retest, consolidated yesterday, right, still ended on a drop, right. During Asia session, price rejected the lows, gave us an internal structure engulfing candle retest for price to go back to the top side. Now again, understanding the zones that we're trading in, right? Once price got to this high, which was just again the clear of the engulfing candle, price rejected and started going to the lows, right, and broke below. So let's put everything together. So 30-minute time frame, we know we're trading with this low, the high, low, broke here. So we know that we're trading between this high and this low. STP is 51. We did 39, but I think I need to redo that. STP is 44. We did how much? 39. Okay. So we made a low, gave us red, red, green. Red candle doesn't have a top wick, so no engulfing. Let's look at the daily. Nothing. 4 hour. Okay. Interesting. And the 4 hour gave us a green. Okay, no, never mind. Green doesn't have a bottom wick, so nothing. 1 hour time frame. Nothing. 30-minute time frame. Nothing. 15-minute time frame. Nothing. 5 minute. Engulfing, but it doesn't have a top wick. Engulfing doesn't have a bottom wick, so nothing on USD CAD. So this is more about market structure, right? So we have low, we know that we're trading here. We have a change of character, right? So this change of character could just be the sweep of the lows, right? Sweep of the lows could just be a retest of the double bottom, and this is where we'll see that. So again, USD CAD, we just gotta wait a little bit longer for us to see our setup develop. Gold. Damn, I gotta get water. Okay. See, my gold didn't save. I did not draw this yesterday. So gold rejected the lows. Started pushing up. This is similar breakdown to like GJ and CHF JPY. We're just in the middle of the zone right now, fighting between breaking the lows of the middle of the zone or the highs. And again, we go to the daily time frame, right? We have a rise, 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 no net. So this month could be expecting another rise, but price is moving kind of slow for that. We still have time for it to reach and make another high, but 557 pips is not bad. Literally just, if it gives us a whole week, and that's what we pretty much have left for the month, right? So if it gives us a week of just clean push to the top side, then we could definitely make a new high. Um, at one point we had 2 days of rise, didn't give us a third day, right? And again, we understand the reasons for that. We had an engulfing candle that was waiting for us here at the top. We have the 800 EMA. So we understood what was going on, and this is where price is just consolidating. So at this point for me for gold, I either have to see price break above, right? Break above, give us a retest to continue the push, or I need to see price um just retest off the lows, right? And today it didn't go off the lows, it used yesterday's midday low, right? Yesterday's pullback. So we just gotta wait. Not much really here to say, right? We already broke above the high of the days. It already gave us a retest. What else? There's really nothing else. At this point, it's just about being patient and waiting it out, right? Because at the end of the day, price could always go back to the top of the 30-minute zone, reject the highs again, and go low, back to the bottom, right? The same way it did yesterday, the same thing it did on Friday. So, gotta be patient and wait it out. Bitcoin gave us a change of character. Gave us this low and this high, then the BOS, right? And then again, this BOS is not a clean BOS because it's still testing, right? But we do have these lows here and this high here. And we had a day of drop, then this day gave us a day of I think it was a day of no net. So it's not 2 days of drop. So am I expecting another low today? No. But we did break right below our 4-hour lows. Right? We broke below our daily lows. So we currently are in that change of character. Right, in the 30-minute we had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, change of character, consolidation, right? Break of the lows, retest, consolidation, break of the lows, right? So at this point we know that we have push 1, consolidation, push 2, consolidation, push 3 to where we're at now, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, change of character, higher low, high to where we're at now. So could this already be the move for the downtrend push here in the 30-minute time frame? Right? Could be. We're at the low of the zone again. We made new lows. Now it's just about waiting to see what price wants to do from here. Right? Does it want to follow the uptrend from the low? Push 1, push 2, and this is a zone of consolidation. And right now we're literally just at the low, right? Because we're looking for that second zone to be above the 800. We're above the 800, right? Above or on. Right now we're still above. This is where price, if we go to the left hand side, right, this is where price started trending up, right, and price already cleared all of it, right, to down here. As you can see, this is where the start of the imbalance candles were. So we cleared the imbalance candles, right, where price started making higher highs and higher lows and started making this push. Right, technically speaking, what was the last red candle that made this push is here. Yeah, literally same spot. So could this be the sweep of the lows, and this is where we're gonna start seeing the push to the top side? We just have to be patient. We have to wait for the engulfing candles. So let's see if we have anything, right? I'm looking for red, red, green. Nothing in the daily, nothing in the 4-hour. 1 hour we have red, red, green. Reds failed to break below. Right, broke above, came back down, retested here. Then nothing above. So at this point, there's no other factor. There's no other factors here. Right, so when we're basing this off of just market structure, at this point we have to wait for a clean break of structure. Without that break of structure, we could always be the ones getting trapped. So we'll wait it out. So at this point, only pairs left for me are really pairs for NYC session. So we have 2.5 hours. Um, unless you guys have another pair that you guys want me to look at, I have nothing else on my book. Look at AU, right? AU is off. I'm looking for a downtrend push. I already gave STP to the top side. CHF JPY already gave us STP to the top side as well. And it gave us an engulfing red candle just now. Right, so could this be the, remember what I was saying? Like, look how I drew this out. How fucking picture perfect it was. I said, yo, if this candle closes, remember I said that, let's back that up. Pause. I said, yo, if this candle closes below here, the next candle is gonna retest the zone. Right, so let's see. Let's see if it does exactly that. Right, but again, this is trading counter, and this is in the middle of the zone. Remember I said that, so don't be getting into these crazy trades. Right, so we'll come back to that later. EuroCAD, same thing as CHF JPY, right? I'm looking for price to go up. It did go up. STP was already hit. The move for the day was already done. So I'm not looking for anything else. Euro USD, same situation. Already gave us STP. Already gave us a move for the day from the low to the top of the zone. At this point, the only other valid trade we have for Euro USD is whenever it breaks above our 30-minute zone. Right, so GJ, right, again, is the one that wanted to give us the move an hour too early, right? 4:30. But again, is a pair that were in the middle of the zone, right? STP was already hit, so the fact that we already missed this trade to the top going to the bottom to hit our STPs, right, is no longer a valid trade for me today. GU, as you can see, is exactly what we want to see on Euro USD, right? It broke above, but again, it's not a clean break of structure because it's just one candle that went above. Everything else went right back down. So STP was already hit. We're at the top of the zones. We have to wait for a clean break of structure before we could even trade that. And then to the ones that we already went through, right? US 30, we could see still pushing on up, waiting to see what it wants to do. USD CAD, same thing, waiting to see what price wants to do, if it wants to give us an engulfing candle at the low, or if it wants to give us an internal change of character and break of structure, we'll take those trades. Gold, nothing, top of the zone. I might as well turn this one off already. And then Bitcoin, same thing as US 30. So anybody else has any pairs you want me to go over, let me know in the chat. Just put it in the chat and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some water. Alright, I'm back. So, alright, no questions, no pairs you guys want me to go over? All good. Alright. You did give me the retest and flew. Give me a second, guys. Someone called out sells on gold. What do you think? The trade idea itself is not bad. It's just early, right? Because let's say, you know, let's look at this in a way where people who just trade zones based on, for example, people who would trade the zone saying that this break just because it touched the wick, right? This means that we're now trading between here and here, right? So then you have the line going from here to up here. Then this wick broke, right? So that means that we're trading from here to here, right? Then this broke. This is the change of character, right? So this means that we're now trading between here and here, right? So if we were to look at it this way, where, okay, we have a change of character. So what's the next thing that we need to look for is a break of structure. That break of structure would be where, right? It would be up here, right? So that's number one. Number two, let's say you're looking at this as a seller, right? Your first point of interest to look for sells is when price reaches here, the top of pretty much the 30-minute zone, right? So getting in a trade here is not bad, just understanding that you're in a spot where you're most probable to be in a drawdown of 50 pips, right? For traders like me, who's trading a regular Forex account that does not have $1 million, I can't risk 50 pips. It's not viable. It's not even real, right? Like 50 pips doesn't make sense, especially on a pair like gold. So that's the number one thing. Let's say they're looking at this another way and just looking at the 800 EMA, right? Which we know nobody uses the 800 EMA. So we know this is not something people are using. But let's say for some odd reason we find somebody else that uses it the way that we do. Um, again, it is I can't even use that because EMAs aren't something that you're supposed to really be using as a, oh, price is doing this, I'm gonna get in as soon as it reaches a EMA. Like that's not really what EMAs are used for, but people do use it like that. So for the sake of the conversation, they're just looking for the price to respect and bounce off the 800 EMA, right? But as again, it's not really in the zone that we want to look for it. You know what I mean? Um, so it's not bad. It's definitely not a bad call, but it's one of those calls where it's more, let's get in sales because we're at the high of the day. Does that make sense? Like I hope that makes sense, because that's really the mentality with a lot of traders, right? And I'm not gonna call nobody out in their name, but that's what, especially the trader who trades this specifically is what he does, which again is not a bad strategy. But if you don't know where you are in the zone, if you don't know that you're reaching, for example, the start of a trend, and you try to do that, that's when price reverses on you, right? And this is why you start seeing it where a lot of people have, what they claim as a 70-60% strategy is because the losses they take in their strategy is not because their fundamental rules are incorrect, right? It's just they don't have the full picture, right? So that's what's going on with gold right now, right? We're in a spot where the traders who don't know about zones and they don't really see what it is that the market is making, they're just seeing, okay, this is the low of the day, right? This is the low of the day, this is the high of the day, right? Because this is the highest point in the market for the day and this is the lowest point in the market of the day. So what are the odds that from the high of the day price just goes down, right? What's the odds that from the low of the day price just goes up, right? So is, like I said, it's not a bad call. We're not gonna say it's bad, but it's not the safest trade to take, if that makes any sense. That's the easiest way to put it. So CHFJPY is still in the same spot. Okay, so again, USD CAD, US30, and Bitcoin are pretty much the only ones that are left on the table for us. But I don't even trade Bitcoin, so really just US30 and USD CAD. US30, we can see it's still pushing up to the top side right now, waiting to see what price wants to do, whether it wants to start respecting these highs and give me an engulfing candle, or if we could see an internal change of character in BOS. Right at this point, right, we had higher high, higher low, made the low, lower high, higher low, then again higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, higher low, to where we're at now, higher high again. So price is just not giving us anything, nothing clear, right? It's not giving anything and nothing clear. Still gotta wait. But we could keep an eye on gold for sure. Like I said, US 30. What I was saying yesterday. Remember, like US 30 is one of those pairs that if I'm not in a US 30 trade, let's say 630, right, to hold that trade, I can't get in a trade on US 30, you know, right at the end of London session going into NYC. Let's also take a look at news, right? The fact that we have news at 9:45 is definitely um going to be interesting. I definitely don't want to trade this in the middle of news either, right? So NYC session today, just understand it's going to be crazy, right? This is why I'm selecting to be patient today, right? Because I don't want to get in a trade early for price to just reverse or go into drawdown when that news hits, right? So give me 1 second. Um, so yeah, I hope that makes sense, guys. Definitely, I'm gonna be waiting for NYC session. So what I might do here, because it's gonna be literally we still got 2 hours left. Um, Again, up to you guys. I don't have any other pairs to look at today. Everything already moved. Everything already did what it had to do. At this point, the only two pairs that haven't completed their daily move is US 30 and USD CAD. The fact that they're both USD pairs, understanding that we have news coming in 2 hours, I'm not going to be playing around at this point, right? Because with US 30, we could see it already started the move. But again, I'll break this down again to so you guys could see the thought process, right? We have news at 9:45. This type 2 pattern, right? This is a type 2 pattern that could happen, right? Easily this could happen, right? Or this could turn into a type 1 pattern where instead of doing higher high, higher low, higher high, it'll just do higher high, higher low, high, give us a double top and go right back down. So understanding this, right? What's going to be the easiest trade, right? Is the easiest trade going to be get in now in the sells because we're at the high of the day? So then when 9:45 hits, we go right into drawdown, right? Or is the safest trade to be, okay, wait until 9:30 to see if price does what? If price breaks above our high of the day and gives us a pullback. If price breaks above the high of the day before 9:45, before 9:30, and gives us a pullback, and before news at 9:45 we're down here on this pullback, we know that we could take this trade to continue to push to the top side. Only if we get a break of structure, right? If we don't get a break of structure and we see that price is giving us a double top, or if we see that price is giving us an engulfing candle, right? We do the same thing we did yesterday, right? We waited for price to give us an engulfing candle. Let's break it down again. This is why I love leaving shit on the chart, right? The engulfing candle, remember, NYC starts at 9:30, right? So let's zoom in, right? And let's take a look. This red candle is the 9:30 candle. So let's break this down. So at 8:15, this is the 15-minute time frame. So at 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, it gave us an engulfing red candle. At 9 a.m., at 9:15, price continued to push down, and at 9:30, when NYC session started, is when price gave us a pullback into the zone to retest to then continue the downtrend push. So that's what I'm expecting to see here. I want to see something similar. I want to see an engulfing candle. I want to see a retest. But again, it just has to happen in sequence. And we have to understand why these things are happening. Give me 1 second. So that's again US 30. Now USD CAD. Alright, USD CAD is similar again, it's just waiting to see what price wants to do. We had 3 days of drop, on the third day had a drop rise, then on the fourth day we got a variation, we got a drop. Today I'm expecting either price to give us a no net or it could continue this downtrend push, right? We had lower high, lower low, lower high to where we're at now. Right, price started drifting away in the 30-minute time frame. We had change of character, then we had this low, gave us a change of character here. Right now there's really no continuation, guys, really no easy trades to really get on. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So Mohammed, you see how price is reacting here at the high? This is why these trades aren't bad. But also remember, right, for the most part, I don't know who it is that you're saying that called out sells for this, right? But remember that a lot of these people too, they're only looking for, especially on gold, right? A lot of these people are just looking for, damn, I just made a fucking mess. They're only looking for a little amount of pips, right? They're only looking for 10 pips, 15 pips, right? And trading gold, which is that's such a high, it has a lot of volume. Getting 10 to 15 pips is literally just a little bit of moves. What's good, JD? High impact CAD USD news at 9:45. Yep. Yeah, I was telling him I'm not looking really to trade until then. So I'm just pretty much just playing it patient. Was telling him if anybody has any pairs they want me to go over, just let me know. We could go over them real quick. I fucking hate this shit. This is I just made a mess. This is not good. Copy that. Patience is key. It's the only way, man, in trading. So Muhammad, look, let's look at this in the 1 minute time frame. Alright, cause that's another thing. We don't know what time frame the dude's looking at this shit in. So let's see if I can see something here in the 1 minute time frame. So nothing really happened in the 1 minute time frame for him to even be calling out sells, except for the fact again, people who trade in the mindset of, oh, this is the high of the day, let's get in right now. There's no confluence. It's literally just this is where we're at, this is what I'm gonna trade, this is what I'm trading, right? And then they're gambling, right? Going to the casino, seeing that red was hit 10 times in a row and you're gonna bet on black, right? And then you think, oh, it was just 9 in a row for red, it has to be black now, and then boom, 10 in a row for red. and then you do the same thing, 11 in a row for red, so you bet for black, and then boom, 12 in a row for red, right? Because that's not a strategy. It's not real. Like you're gonna get fucked over. So it's the same thing when you're trading the highs of the days or the lows of the day. You can't just get in just because you're at the high of the day. I'm getting in because it has to go down now. Like no, there's places where this happens in, and again, there's too much room here left for price adjust, go back down. We haven't even tapped in. Again, I broke this down as if in we were trading this as everybody else, right? Saying that this is the breaks, right? And we added the lines with the yellow lines are what would people be looking at as a 30-minute time frame, right? So again, a valid sell would be okay, the traders who just trade from zone to zone. So for this sell to be accurate, we would have to wait for price to at least go into this 2035 area, right? Everything else before that would be too early. You get trapped in these candles that don't even move. So, but again, if you're a trader that only looks for 10 pips, like again, look how like 10 pips is from here to here. This is 10 pips. This is a 19 pip box from here to here, right? So again, if you're a trader that has $1 million account and you could throw a $50 loss size on gold to catch 10 pips, right? Let's do the math. Because maybe you guys aren't really understanding that. Take a look at these guys and how they trade in their loss sizes and their account size. Again, it's not viable for somebody who has $100, $200, $1,000 account, a $10,000 account, right? We're talking about if you have a live trading $10,000 account. You definitely can't trade 20 pips on gold with a $10,000 funded account. You definitely can't do that on a $25,000 funded account. If you have a $100,000, a $400,000, a $500,000 funded account, yeah, absolutely. But you can't do it if you don't have anything else higher than that. So let's put it in perspective, right? A $50 loss size on gold, trading 20 pips, that's $10,000. But this is what these guys do, right? These guys sell a course telling you use 20, 30, 40 pips, and then those same people telling you to use 20 to 30 to 40 pip stop losses are the same people selling you a fucking prop firm that you could only use 10 pips. Yo, make that shit make sense. Please, guys, let's use our fucking brains sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So with that, we're not gonna rant, right? We already did this multiple times last week. I'm not gonna bring that shit up every single time. So again, yes, for people who trade that way, it works. It works for them because they're funded by, they're backed, affiliated, and sponsored by these people who are taking everybody's cash. So please, let's be a little bit more aware, man. I mean, that goes for everybody. Like, really start looking at who the owner of these prop firms are and go look at their real trading portfolio. Most of these guys didn't start trading until they opened their own prop firm account. They're the owners. They don't have to do a challenge. Go ask these prop firm owners to go through their challenges. I bet you none of them will pass. Out of 10 prop firm CEOs, we could call up 10 prop firm CEOs right now. I bet you 9 of them will fail. But then they have the nerve to tweet out and put on Instagram a picture of their withdrawals. Like, brother, it's not gonna work on us, man. Good try. Dino effect exposing the industry. Yo, it is facts though. It is facts. This shit's crazy, man. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just me because I see it every day too, especially being on Twitter. That's where they all are. They're all active there. So it's like, for example, yesterday, I'm not gonna name drop, but there was a person yesterday, a pretty known trader in the community of, I guess you could say, on Twitter. Um, yesterday his account got breached, but like he shared his screenshot of the trade he took, and like he gave his example, and he was like, "Oh, I just got scammed. These guys, they breached my account, like they moved my stop loss, or whatever it is, what these guys always say when they fail a fucking account." And I mean, he got exposed for pretty much being a shit trader. He was like, "Yo, you're throwing," because one thing he didn't do was show his lot size, and it was exactly that. Like he's throwing $13 loss sizes, $20 loss sizes on gold, and he's putting his stop loss literally like a hundred bucks below the max daily loss. So like, and then he's blaming everybody else, and then they exposed them. They're like, bro, like these are your trades. This is why you lost. So everybody's frying his shit now, like, oh, you're not even a good trader. You're a gambler. You know how it is. But it's just funny to see. On a real note, that shit with the stop losses, that was the funniest thing to me. Was like, yo, how could you be like, how could you be selling a course, right? Just, I mean, we understand it because we're businessmen, right? Like, I'm obviously gonna sell you something that's gonna make me more money, right? So if I give you false information and then you go use that false information in another service that I own, that's gonna make me more money. Like, no shit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that makes so much sense. But, to an average person, they're not thinking of it like that. They're seeing it as, oh, I don't know what the fuck they're seeing it as, to be honest. I can't wrap my head around that. Brother is selling you a course talking about 30, 40 pip stop losses. And then after the course is done, he's like, hey guys, here's my prop firm. Go buy an account. And then you can't even, you can't trade the same way you would trade. You can't use that trading strategy with the prop firm. So those students in that course are just failing and buying accounts, thinking that it's their fault that they're losing. Which, I mean, obviously it's their fault because they don't have the right information, but it's unfortunate that the people they're trusting aren't people you could really trust. But it is what it is. I sound like a real life hater right now, huh? Over the years, we've seen a lot of traders that might get caught lying. Like their losses taken advantage of, trying to get better position in life. Yeah, I mean, it just sucks that that's really, it's just the reality of every industry, really, right? Technically speaking, every industry is like that. The only thing that sucks is like you wouldn't expect it in trading, which is an industry that with the skill you don't need to live a fake life. Like if you're really doing it, you're really doing it. And it sucks that the people in the position that are doing these fucked up things are people who we've thought for years have been doing it for real. So it really does make you question a lot of shit. But it is what it is. You got Williams in the industry right now. uh, that'd be crazy. You imagine? I'm gonna start calling everybody out on Twitter. In due time, they'll all come to light, though. It's already happening. It's been happening. That's the thing. But I feel like there's a lot of people who work together, and it's one of those things where if one person falls and they really try to make somebody fall, there's a lot of things that's gonna be brought to light, if you know what I'm talking about. There's one group of people right now that we know very well that I'm keeping a close eye on. Cause it's like, bro, and at any point, one of them could get really pissed off at one another and just start exposing. And they've been saying that for a year and a half now that that's what's gonna happen, and they haven't done anything. So, again, understanding the business side of things, when shit like that happens, is usually like, yo, if you're gonna throw us under the bus, we're taking, like, you're coming with us type of thing. So it's like, yo, either shut the fuck up and just keep living your life, or we're all going down. And that's definitely what's going on in that group. 100%. And we've seen it, right? Because we've been, I know E shares the shit with you too, so I know you've seen it. But they expose themselves, and it's like, if you're not really into that and you're not really looking into it, you don't really know what it is that they were exposing and shit like that. But it is what it is. We'll let them rock. They exposed one of them months ago. He must have apologized. Absolutely. Yo, that's funny as hell. Hell no. Yo, JT, go look at your Instagram real quick. Yo, you know what's crazy? I think I might have that saved. That match where you had one damage. I think I have that saved. I'm not gonna look for that shit right now. He just sent me that on Instagram. Actually, what's funny? I'm like, yo, he every time some shit like that happens to him in game, it was a game that he had one damage. The next day, he's sending me clips of other people doing the same shit. Damn, man, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to look for that. Let me know if you get on to it. I'm telling you, I'll probably get on right after we're done here trading. Um, time is 8, and we still got an hour 45. God damn. Yo, I'm gonna find that clip. I know I have it, but that shit was funny as hell. I know I have it. Alright, so USD CAD, let's see anything else. Nothing yet. US 30, still at the top. Nothing in the internal structure or lower time frames either. Then gold. Muhammad, you see what I was saying about these cells up here in the zone? Again, it's not really. Also, I hope like my explanation as to why I don't have this, the reason why we still have our lows like this, right? Instead of having them how a regular person would have it if they would just do it like this, where they would have this high and this low, right? It's just looking at the zone is how many times did price go down here and reject the lows. Price never broke below. It was just testing, 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 testing. So we know that we're still trading between, let me use this like this, right? This is our 30-minute low and our 30-minute high. I hope you could see that. I hope that makes sense. Right? Because it's all the same thing, right? Because regardless, let's look at it this way. We zoom out, right? We had lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then we have boom. This push to the top side was a change of character, right? So in order for us to even get in a trade, again, going long on gold, we need to see what? We need to see a change of character, right? Let me add the lines here because I know this makes it easier for everybody. I don't really like adding a lot of stuff to my chart, but I'll do it for you guys, right? So we have a change of character, right? And the retest, right? And price here is just consolidating. So what are we looking for now? We're looking for the break of structure, and the break of structure will happen here, right? So I hope that makes sense. And again, why are we looking at these lows down here? What was the last red candle before the break was down here, right? So we've just been respecting the zone. It's doing exactly what it needs to do, right? We're in the zone of consolidation. We know that at the lows of the zone is where we could look for price to go up, or we're looking for price to break, retest, continue. And we know that at the top of the zone, we're waiting for price to go down, or we're waiting for price to break, retest, and continue. How long we've been live for? An hour 17. It's not bad. What are you expecting on USD CAD? Change your card to BOS? Yeah, I don't. At this point, I'm not sure. Right? Because let's break this down again. Let's add the lines. Right? We had a change of character. Then we had this low, this high. Right? We have a change of character here. Gave us this low and this high. Then this high. Right? Gave us a break. It didn't give us a BOS and gave us this low. Then in this low, right? This low caused a change of character to the downside. Right? So now we know that we're trading between this high, right, and this low. At this low, we could see that price gave us a 1-2 green engulfing, right? But the green engulfing is not valid because of how close it is to the zone, right? Could it be one of those trades again where the probability of price just saying fuck it and reversing here to just continue to push to the top side? Could that be something that could happen? Yeah. But at this point, we could still see price making internal lower low, lower high, lower low. So until I don't see an internal change of character BOS, right, I don't want to take a trade. So if we start looking at it in the 5-minute time frame, right, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Change of character, low to where we're at now, right? Where would be the BOS zone. But if we start looking at how price is reacting to it, looking at the candles, testing, 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 waiting for this one. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. USD CAD. Let's take a look. Not bad. Let's see if we can get a retest. Alright. Only thing is, look at the external structure. Right, we can't forget the external structure. We had the change of character in the 30-minute time frame. Right, what was the last? I'm gonna mark this in the internal so we can have a better bias. Right, what was the last green candle before the push down? Right, it was this one right here. Right, so if we put, I'm gonna put a line at the top of the wick and the body of the candle. Right, this is the zone that I think price is gonna have problem breaking through. Right, not only that, what do we have here? 800 EMA. Right, so could price just continue this lower low, lower high, lower low? Could this be just a pullback for then price to make a lower high to continue the trend to the downside? Right, to go down to the 800 EMA here, to go down into our 30-minute low. Right, could be. We have 3 days of drop, third day drop rise. Yesterday gave us another day of drop. The reset. Right, we could either get a no net or a drop today. We went up to the highs of the day, rejected the highs, broke the lows of the day. Once we broke the lows of the day, obviously now we know we're trading between the low of the day and the high of the day. But this could be a simple break and retest of the low of the day. Right, so this is why this trade, like I said earlier, is not really, again, the safest one would have been an engulfing candle retest off the lows. Anything above here at this point, we're trading in the middle of the zone. We'll be trading in the middle of the indecision, right? And again, the fact that we have an hour now for that news to hit is not safe to get into a trade when we're not either at the lows or the highs, if that makes sense. Exactly, yeah. It could just be a pullback. Yelling at my cat like if she can understand me, then bro, chill out. It keeps opening the fucking door. Who taught you how to open the door? And US 30 is just leaving. That is wild. What the fuck? What the fuck? Alright, so let's update the 4 hour chart real quick on US 30, right? So we had the 4 hour high that was broken. So now we know that we're trading between this low. Yo, cat, I'm not opening that fucking door. Stop meowing. Your fault. I gave you the option and you chose to stay inside. Right, so we know that in the 4 hour time frame we're trading between this high and this low. Right. At this point, look at our daily time frame too. Our daily time frame, we have a new high, right, which is this high over here and the low down here. So let's go back to the 30, right? We tapped into our 4 hour high. Right, again, understanding that we have a 4 hour high here, we have a 30-minute high here, we also have a daily high here. It really is just a matter of waiting for internal structure to play a part. Um, just being patient. How many fucking animals does this guy have? See what I was saying about USD CAD too? Yeah, man. Understanding these zones, you'll never get faked out, man. And here in the 15-minute time frame, you have an engulfing red candle. So, what could we expect on USD CAD? Continue to go down. Nope, what's good, my brother? I'm not speaking. Just chilling here. We went over the charts, just waiting for something to happen. We got news in an hour and a half, so just waiting to see what Price wants to do. But you know what I've been telling everybody. If anybody has any pairs they want me to go over, just let me know in the chat. We'll go over them. Should have taken USD counter? Nope. I definitely wouldn't. That's a no for me for sure. My bad, I'm back. Let's take a look at USD CAD, still at the bottom. US 30 tapped into the 4-hour zone. Right, when we look at what type of pattern is doing, what type of movements it's doing, it looks like a type 2 pattern. Right, consolidation, break, retest to continue to push to the top side. Now we're just waiting to see what price wants to do. Right, does price want to break above the 4-hour and the 30-minute zone to give a break, retest to continue to push to the top? Or is this type 2 pattern going to type into a type 1 where we consolidate, break, give a double top to continue to push to the bottom side? Right, at this point, that's what we're waiting for on US 30. I also want to see an engulfing candle. I want to see a green, green, red. Right, in the 5-minute time frame, we can see we have a green, green, red here. This green open with a gap, right? So we have an engulfing candle connected to a gap. The only thing I don't like about it is that the green candle didn't close above the first green candle's wick, right? So technically speaking, even when we're looking at it that way, this engulfing candle going down is not a valid engulfing candle. The only difference, again, this is an engulfing candle connected to the gap. The biggest difference that makes this engulfing candle invalid compared to a valid engulfing candle is that the green candle did not close above. Still waiting. We have an hour till that news hits. We have an hour, 9:30, right? So we have 50 minutes for NYC open. We just gotta be patient here, guys. But I had to take my cat outside. I can't fucking deal with that shit today. She keeps opening the door every time I close it. There's no trades for today. Yeah, it could be a very slow day. I mean, we still have the 9:30 opening, right? US 30, USD CAD still haven't done STP. They're still in pretty good spots, right? Well, never mind, not USD CAD anymore, not in a good spot, right? Already went through 30-minute low, but regardless, right? We see the 800 as we said earlier. We know where price wants to go. On the other hand, with US 30, still waiting to see what price wants to do. Definitely at this point now, we're definitely not going to take a trade. Um, we're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait for 9:30 to hit. Gonna wait for 9:45 to hit, and then if we don't catch anything after that, we'll be out of here by 10 o'clock. So we got another hour of class today, and then we'll be out of here. Here we go. You see what I was saying about gold? Right? These sells here are too early. These sells up here, when you're in the 30-minute zone and you tap into the 30-minute zone, right? Those are that's the sells that you really want to start seeing for, right? And if you're looking for these sells, you're already in profit 53 pips, right? Compared to what these guys were looking for at 10 pips, 2 pips, like that's not what we trade for. Obviously this isn't our trading idea either, so it's not a position I'm looking for either. But to go back to what we were talking about this morning, the real position to be looking for those sells that you were talking about would have been up here, not here. So I hope that makes sense. That GJ would have been crazy, man. Straight just consolidation, right? Gives an engulfing candle, retest to the top to continue that push to the bottom. If this would have happened an hour later, 100 pip day. Yo, time is going by so slow today. It's still 9:14, man. Oh my god. Guys, I'm sorry. Today's a very, very slow day again, man. As you guys can see, usually, you know, the tools that we have, right? We're just gonna speak about ADR and STP, right? Usually on a day like today, I wouldn't even be looking at this, right? Like technically speaking, we were done trading by the time we turned the charts on. We turned the stream on at 6:30. By 6:45, we knew we were done for the day already. Everything was already moving. Everything already started to move. Like there's really nothing else left for us. So just for the next time, right? Because we haven't really done a live session this week. Usually on days where it's very slow, like days like today, I usually don't turn the stream on, right? Usually I just keep it on Discord. I keep you guys updated on Discord the same way I did yesterday. um, where we weren't doing a live trading session on YouTube, but we were doing a live trading session on Discord. Um, but it is what it is, right? Just for next time, I'm definitely not gonna be staying like this for 5 hours, bro. This is the worst part about trading, in my opinion. It's just the waiting game. But now next time we'll do this on Discord, so then that way I'm not just sitting here for 5 hours just doing nothing. Yo yo, welcome back, sir. Talk myself into not getting into EU when it bounced off the 800 yesterday, 100 pips later. Yeah, it happens. I know yesterday was I almost did the same with with US 30. I was in the trade and I was like, I think I'm gonna cash out early. I think it was like around the first entry. Once it hit this low, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna cash out here. But then I just waited for it. It was early still. It's still 6 in the morning, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just let this shit run and see what happens. And then it just started developing a little bit more, and I got that second entry too. But yeah, that shit's the worst. EU would have been fucking nice too. The good thing with EU, what I was eyeing at yesterday, was the engulfing candle, right? So obviously we just have to wait for this daily candle to close. I'll actually start drawing it now. And then we'll look for a retest on this tomorrow, right? Which would make sense. Um, yeah, it's not bad at all, Mohammed. 8 minutes left. Still has 200 pips. Yeah, I was seeing that too. We have 2 months, right? We still have a lot of room left. Cause I wouldn't even say this, right? I would say this one right here. That's that trade you take and you know you can hold. Man, I'm so tired. You waiting on market open? Yeah, I'm waiting for the 9:30, and I'm also waiting just for that news to hit. Um, I don't really like how we're just at the top of the zones right now, right? Because usually an easy trade would just be as soon as price gets into the 4 hour, right? Because all the 4 hour, the daily, and the 30-minute zone, this is the high that we need to be looking at. So on a regular day where price didn't already move 150 pips before NYC open, would have potentially be looking for a trade here, but at this point I'm just gonna wait it out. Down here an engulfing candle was left, right? So could price come right back down and then just tap down here to continue to go? It could happen. But yeah, regardless to so where price is at now, with that news coming in, I just won't feel comfortable taking a trade here. Just if we go down to a lower time frame, there's just a lot of gaps too in the market. And so in the 5 minute, we have the gap down here. There was another one that I saw. Where is it at? So this is the 5 minute one. 1 minute all here at the bottom as well. Right, and then we also have this one at the top. But then remember, this gap here at the top is the gap that's connected to the 5 minute engulfing candle. Right? So could price with the news, could it just spike up into here? Pretty much the exact same thing it did yesterday. Right? Where if we go into yesterday, 15-minute time frame. In the 15-minute time frame, it gave us the engulfing candle. Right? And then at 9:30, right, NYC open, that's when it went up and retested the zone. So we will see. Been neglecting US 30 for a few months. Yeah, it's not a bad idea to be honest. Nah, US 30's been crazy. The trades that have been super easy on 30 is just structure, right? If you just follow the trend, that's it. Yeah, I remember that's what you were doing for a little bit. Just waiting for like 15 minutes after the open. Those were good trades too. That's another reason why like I hate waiting. Right? Like the fact that I wake up so early and then I still gotta wait another 4 hours to then trade this shit, I just hate. That's the only thing I don't like doing. Notice how price now went down first before giving us that pullback, right? The zones I wanted to see again were just those 5 minute gaps, 1 minute gaps. So the fact that price went down and already filled this 5 minute gap, we know we have one more gap to fill down here, right? So look at structure, still making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high. Yeah, 46 seconds for this 30-minute candle. Damn. We're almost done here, guys. So NYC open, you see how prices is reacting crazy. Wicks to the bottom, wicks to the top. Give it a few minutes, let's see what price wants to do. At this point, we have that 5 minute engulfing candle at the top side. Price could either go to the top, retest to continue this downtrend, or price could just continue to melt to the bottom, go down to cover this gap, find support to then continue to push to the top side. We'll see what it ends up doing first. Regardless, again, I'm not taking any trades until after 9:45, which is when that news is gonna hit. We'll let the market move, and then if we have something we could catch, we'll catch it. Right, so boom, price ended up rejecting those highs, right? Never went up to retest that engulfing, it's pushing down first. So at this point, this green line, right, remember that's the BOS of the high of the day, or the high of the zone, right? We had test, this green candle was the break. We needed the next candle to confirm the BOS of this zone, right? Right now we don't have a clear BOS, so we're still waiting. Waiting to see in another time frame. Do we have another engulfing candle? We do not. Right. Price again, with the lows, went right back to the top. Thoughts on AU? One second, let me open up another tab for you. I got you. But I mean, for at this point, you know, AU for me today is already done based on ADR. Where we're at the high of the day, right? So right now, price is still testing. There hasn't been no confirmed break of structure yet. At this point, you're gonna see two things. You're either gonna see price break, retest to continue to push up to the top side, or simple, right? We see we're in a zone of consolidation where price has just been in this zone the entire time, from this low to this high, right? And right now we're at the high of that zone. So we could either see this happening, or we're gonna see price come back down, right, to then continue the downtrend push. But for today, it's already done, right? STP for the day is 42. We already did 54. Right, we already did 55. So the move for the day is definitely done, right? And then overall, I am looking for price to push down. So regardless, I'm not looking for these trades going long. I'm only looking for price to go down. Waiting to see what price wants to do. And US 30 again pushed up, rejected the highs once again, started to push back down. So at this point, we got 10 minutes for till that news hits. So we'll be here till then, and then after the news, if we don't have any opportunities, we'll be back later tonight. Asia session at 7 p.m. and then again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. We just gotta be patient, wait it out. Again, if you guys have any questions, anything you guys want me to explain again, any pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know, and we'll go through it. Alright, price is pushing back up. Once again. Again, guys, this trade is very tough, right? Again, there's no indication of price pulling back down. We're still in the highest point in the market, right? The only indications that we had going down that was already fulfilled was the 4-hour gap that was left behind that was filled yesterday, right? Price failed to break below the zone, closed above and started pushing to the top side. So again, the reason why I'm not really looking to take a trade today is because price could go either way, right? Price failed to break the low and give us a break of structure and pulled back up. And again, now we're at the top of the daily zone. So could price reject here and start going down again? Absolutely. But could price just continue to melt to the top side? Absolutely. So there's just really no, today there is no easy trade, right? We can't sit here and say, oh, this is what's going to happen. We don't have none of that, right? In the 30-minute time frame, we could see how we have two red candles, and then this green candle already looks like it wants to be an engulfing candle, right? In the 15-minute time frame, we could see that we have two red candles, and this 15-minute time frame candle looks like it wants to be an engulfing candle, right? So it's just a matter of waiting, right? At this point, right, did we tap into the zone? Let me add a square actually, so we're a little bit more precise, right? Did we tap into the zone? We missed it by a few pips, right? So again, we got 9 minutes left for that news to hit, so I'm not gonna be trading into this. I'm definitely not gonna get in right now, right before news. I'm not gonna over leverage my account just for the sake of one trade hitting TP. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. There's too much risk, especially for US 30. There's too much risk involved, right? Because let's say you get slipped. That's another situation, right? If we were to have this stop loss, right? This would be a 8 pip stop loss, right? But because you're trading on such a low time frame and you'll trade before news, this 8 pip stop loss, it could get slipped into a 25 pip stop loss, right? And if that's the case, obviously if you're trading, with the regular risk management, if you're trading with 8 pip stop loss, you're obviously going to trade with a bigger loss size, right? So think about it. Just to use regular numbers, right? If your standard lot on US 30 for a 20 pip stop loss, right? That's usually regular. It's about $1, right? Let's say you get in on a trade with a 20 pip stop loss, or I'm sorry, with the 8 pip stop loss. So now instead of your standard lot being $1, your standard lot is now, let's say, $2, right? Let's say half of 20, right? 10, close enough, right? It's 8. Let's say you're using a $2 lot instead. So now instead of losing that dollar trade that you would with an 8 pip stop loss, you're trading now with a $2 stop loss, or I'm sorry, with a $2 lot size. And because you're trading in news, instead of your stop loss being hit at 8 pips, you got slipped and it hit 20 pips. So you see what I'm saying? So this is why I'm also not trading with news. That happened to me once when I first started trading on my live account. Never did that shit again. I learned the hard way. And I say I learned the hard way because the first thing I learned in trading was do not trade news. That was something that was always said. And then that one day I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna trade. And after that, never again. You've never seen me trade news after that again. Happened to me once, never again. I'm good on that. Because again, it's not even about anything else other than the fact that, again, US 30 and news. Can price literally just throw a fat wick to the top side, come back down, and then complete the move to the downside? Absolutely. That's another thing that could happen with news, right? As much as people want to say, oh, but with news, it could just melt directly to your side and hit your TP right away. Of course that could happen. But what if it doesn't do that and it does complete opposite, where it literally just throws a spike, a wick to the top side, or vice versa, and just to tap your stop loss to then for price to go back down, right? We know that that's what happens during news. So I'm gonna stay away from, I'm staying away from the USD pairs, but that's the only pairs we have left for today, and I'm staying away from them until after 9:45. But again, for the most part, most of these pairs already did STP and ADR, so we don't really have anything left for today after this news is hit. So we'll just be patient. 5 minutes for that 15-minute candle to close. I'll keep an eye on it. But you see how the market makers right now are trying to induce everybody, right? They have engulfing candles going both ways on both sides of the chart, going up and going down. So it's another reason, right? That's another confluence for you guys to be like, okay, why is the market maker throwing all these different entry criterias, Why are they trying to engage sellers to get into the trade? Why are they trying to engage buyers into getting into the trade? Right? It's just to trap them late. It's just to trap them, right? They're trying to make buyers get in the trade and they're making sellers get in the game. See you later. All right, my brother. We'll see you later. All right, we got 20 seconds left. Lock it in. Again, the sell entry, right? The sell trigger entry was never hit. Right at this point in the 5-minute time frame, we have another green red candle, right? Another green candle connected, or another red candle, I'm sorry, connected to a gap, right? So let's see how this candle closes in 5 seconds. Again, I don't really like this candle closing like that, right? It's too close. All right, open with a huge gap, right? Huge gap opening. Now price is frozen. Oh, there you go. Right, remember we want to see price close the gap over here in the 1-minute time frame. Shit, I lost it. Where's the gap? No way. Okay. Oh, I see it. No, we're good. I'm bugging. So 5-minute time frame. Price went up. We have another engulfing candle connected to a gap. Hi, Tiger. Come here. Someone asked for your thoughts on it. Yeah, I gave him the um the explanation, but I'll do it again. Pretty much telling him, right now we're at the top of the zone. All these candles, right, are still testing, 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 right? So exactly what I was saying, right? There's two things here. For the people who don't know the BOSs, right, all of these are still testing candles. None of these were a break of structure, right? Remember, the next thing I said was, in order for this to be a valid break of structure, this red candle that at one point was not down here, it was still above, right? We were like, if this candle stays above and closes above and then gives us a retest, then we know we could look for the price to go up. The second thing, right? ADR, STP's 42. We already did 55, right? I'm not expecting. I'm not even looking at this just based off of that alone. And then again, obviously, market structure, overall market makers pattern. I'm looking for price to go down. I'm not looking at counter trend trade. At this point, AU has what would be considered an engulfing red candle, right? If this does close as an engulfing red candle, right, it'll give us this 30-minute retest zone. What I'd be looking for is for price to come back up, retest, and then look for price to go down. GJ again at the low of the zone. And at the low of the zone, this red candle is not a valid engulfing red candle, or this red candle here wouldn't make this a valid engulfing green candle if it does close above, but it is giving it to us here at the bottom of the 30-minute zone again. remember what I said about Gold Muhammad? I know you're not here anymore, but picture perfect to what we had drawn out. Perfect. So here we go. So US 30 failed to tap into the retest of both 5-minute zones and decided to go down first to cover this. Now, if you notice it, right, US 30 left a gap here at the top. So here what I'm going to do in the higher time frame, maybe I missed it, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm looking for a red, red, green to continue this uptrend. Right? Do we have an engulfing candle somewhere? No. Red, red, green. Here would be the retest of the zone. Right? And why I'm looking at this one is because red, red, green, test, test, break, retest. This is where this gap was at as well. Let's see. Um, is a retest at 30-minute like a zone retest or return to origin? I got you. Give me 1 second just because I want to keep an eye on US 30 and then I'll answer your question. Just interested on what US 30 is doing here at this gap, right? If it gives us an engulfing candle in a lower time frame, we could potentially look for that. So retest of the 30-minute zone is pretty much just the high and the lows, right? Just looking at market structure. So I'll give you an example on an easier chart. I want to show you a chart that's not just consolidating, right? I'm gonna try to find you a chart that's trending, but a lot of pairs this month have just been moving sideways for the most part. I mean, we could use US 30. I mean, no, we could use GJ. GJ is a simple one. Even though we're consolidating, right? We could see how it's using the zone. Give me 1 second. I'm also looking at US 30 from my other screen. Okay, so I'll give you the example. So the 30-minute zones, which you see here are the red boxes, right? Obviously, you see the highlights. This is what I had drawn out today, just explaining this earlier in today's class. So we have higher high, higher low, right? So we had this break, which gave us this low and this high, right? So then price gave us higher high, higher low, right? Where price gave us this low, which is where this red box is at, right? And this high. This high broke, right? Which then gave us the high that we're in now and the low. Anytime price reaches a 30-minute high or a 30-minute low, that's where you want to start seeing price rejecting. So I'll give you the example of GJ, right? GJ is not the best example because we're in peak high territory. We're not really in a trend right now. But I'll give you the example if GJ was still in an uptrend pattern, right? Since GJ is still in an uptrend pattern, I'm looking for price to reject the lows right? Give us a change of character BOS to then look for price to continue the push to the top side to the top of the 30-minute zone. If price rejects the top of the 30-minute zone, right? I don't trade counter, right? We don't trade counter here. So I'm not looking for price. I'm not looking for opportunities to go short, right? What I'm looking for is for price to break, retest, get in on a trade here to continue the trend to the top, right? But whatever, all good. Price went right back to the lows. When it goes back into the low again, right? We're looking for lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, BOS, retest, and again, you have the trades higher high, higher low, back to the top of the zone. Same thing here at the top of the zone, you get out of the trade, you know this is where the decision is going to be made, right? Is price going to break, retest to continue, or is price going to continue to go down? And then again, at the low of the zone, you have the double bottom, right? At this point, we saw that we have a 30-minute engulfing, so this is where price starts rejecting, and that's exactly what happened. We got the retest of the 30-minute high, or the 30-minute engulfing, and then price went right back to the low. Again, here at the lows, you can see how price is rejecting the lows again, right? But then now we can see how this green candle, we have 2 minutes left, you can see how this green candle is now being rejected here at the top. So what would be considered lower low, lower high, lower low, right, in the lower time frame, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? We want to see a change of character in a BOS. That change of character in the internal structure is here. Shit, is here. So we wanted to see the green candle, we wanted to see a break, retest, and continue to the top. And you can see how it rejected in the lower time frame. So I hope that makes sense. I know it's a lot to take in at first, but this is why we do daily sessions here, so you guys could take notes, come back, and we do the same thing for every single pair that we trade. So it wouldn't be too difficult to catch on, you know what I mean? Damn. USD CAD is not playing around. Right? USD CAD, I said this earlier too to Muhammad. I'm like, watch the 800 EMA. Because at one point he's like, oh, look for the buys here, right? 800 EMA plays a big part in the market makers market structure. Right? But again, now we're reaching the high of the day. This is where price is going to tend to slow down to then make a decision on where it wants to go. Alright, so at this point, I'm almost done trading, guys. We're almost out of here. Right, at this point, let's go back to the 1 minute time frame here. Right, we still got this gap down here that was filled. We can see we still have no engulfing candles. At this point, yes, we still have a gap up here in the 1 minute time frame. I just want to be looking for an engulfing. Right, I don't really trade after 10 o'clock, so this is my time to go. I'm definitely not going to be sitting here all morning trying to chase a trade. So that's it for me, guys, to be honest. Unless you guys have another pair you guys want me to go over, I'm done for the day. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Well, we'll be back here tonight, 7 p.m. And then we'll be back again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. But again, if you guys have any other pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. And then we could do that before I leave. If not, I'm out of here. Wish Muhammad was here. CHFJPY did exactly the same thing US30 did yesterday. Right, it used the 930 candle to come up, retest the zone, to then continue the push to the bottom side. Catching that, bro. Appreciate the time. No problem, no problem. Then man, helpful. Once was part of Vice back in 2016. And that's about to be 10 years of that. That's crazy. Good to see you moving still. We appreciate that, man. We need you back. Get back in the Discord. Well, join the Discord. We're doing everything on the Discord now. Link should be in the chat. I'll post that now. But alright, guys. We'll see you guys again at 7 p.m. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.